Hello everybody, my name is Lily and welcome to today's video. And as it turns out, I actually forgot to get out my outline for today, but that's okay, I'm grabbing it right now. Today I want to talk about the top 10 jobs I wanted as a kid. I'll be honest, kids always have the silliest of dreams. In mind, we're all so silly. And I want to talk about that today. The first 5 are just like, you were never gonna get this. But after that, it goes into things that kind of do make sense for me. But either way, though, I think these are all silly. They all come from different points in my childhood experience. And I just want to share this today. Because I know when we were all kids, we all wanted to be super fairy princesses that were also knights and or queens and or super warriors. And I was no different. That brings me to number 10, actually, which is princess. Yes, like many other girls growing up, I in fact wanted to be a princess. I wanted to be rich, and I wanted to be rich now, and I wanted to be a princess, and I want people to treat me like a princess. And that one's a very basic, that's why it's number 10. And of course, though, I am treated like a princess now, thanks to my wonderful, wonderful boyfriend, who I love with all of my heart and soul. And that comes to number 9, a YouTuber. I did try my best to make little vlog videos growing up, and it never really went anywhere because I had no idea what I was doing, and I was a small, tiny child. But, I guess the reason this is about number 9 is because I did it. I am, in fact, becoming a YouTuber now. And I'm proud of myself for that one, for actually trying one of those childhood dreams, even if it seems silly at first, because I'm really glad I did. I have learned a lot about myself. I have really opened myself to go back out there in the world. That's something to admire for myself. And I am proud of me. Being a YouTuber has been a great experience, and I can't wait to see what more I get to do. In the number 8 spot, I have police officer. One of my uncles is a police officer, and growing up, I was there for when he was training, and I thought he was the coolest person ever in the whole wide world, and I wanted to be just like him. I would not have been a good police officer, though. I would not have been a good police officer in the slightest. I would have been so bad. I would have either been so against the system or so corrupt. There would have been no good in between. I would have been the most corrupt cop there is, or I would have been the most, oh my god, the system is horrible cop there is. I don't think I would have enjoyed it. But I definitely do think I at least have the guts for it. At least I hope I do. Number 7, I have vet. This one I was pretty set on for about a year. In fact, I did a whole little paper on it in school, when I was in elementary school. We had to write a paper. That's when I learned how to always expand upon my sentences more and more. And I no longer want to be a vet because I realized I would have to put down animals and see blood, and I realized pretty quickly that I was not okay with that. The moment I remembered there's more to being a vet than just saying hi to fuzzy little creatures and petting animals was when I realized, ooh, no, I don't want to do that. I would never be a doctor either for that reason. I think I would get too sad when people died. Way too sad. I'm already very sensitive to death, and being a doctor would just make that 10 times worse for me. So I will never be a doctor or a vet, sadly. The doctor's not on here. Doctor was always a thing where my family was like, oh, I bet you'd be a great doctor. And I was like, yeah, I bet I would be. And then I just never did because I never actually wanted to. That's okay. And the number 6 spot, we've been with a recent one, chef. I did actually consider going to culinary school, and then I realized that it's extremely stressful. There's a reason a lot of chefs turn to smoking cigarettes. As well as it'd be way too expensive to go to culinary school and not worth the money because chefs just don't make a lot of money unless you're Gordon Ramsay, which in that case you're set for life. But sadly, I am not Gordon Ramsay. And I do like cooking, and I will cook for fun, but I will never do it as a career. But that is okay, because this one was actually from high school. I wanted to do this. Pretty much the one right before I decided on my final one where I am now with being a business student. But no being a chef for me. And the number 5 spot, I have an actor. I took acting classes as a kid. I'm sure plenty of people did. It was just a chance to have fun. Acting is fun. Once again, a lot of these I like doing them for fun, but I'd never do it for a career. I'd either get sick of it, or I'd get depressed, or I would become homeless. Because unless you're an A-list actor, there's just not a lot of money to be made. It's it either goes to the 1% or it doesn't go anywhere at all type of job. And I don't like those jobs. I want to make sure I have a consistent career that gives me lots of money, because I like money. Money's great. Money allows me to have financial stability and have a stable life. I will always appreciate money for that. Go capitalism. That was a joke, by the way. Number 4, it's similar to singer. This one was also a big one, thinking you could be the next Mariah Carey. You can't, though. And frankly, I think I'm a good singer, but I do not think I am anywhere near the level of skill to ever make it in the professional singing world. I think I am leagues below them, even though I have been doing it for 10 years. It's just not for me. In the number 3 spot, this is the one I'm probably going to talk the most about, businesswoman. I am autistic. I was an autistic child. So growing up, I didn't really like to play make-believe. What I did like to do was play make-real. And by that, I mean, my favorite game to play as a kid was business. And what business was, is I would make a business for real, with timesheets and everything. And I would dedicate my day to making products to sell. Ever since I was a tall little baby boo, I always wanted to make items and fall into the capitalist world. So proud of myself. It's true, every year I would my mom would always help me try and set up a store where I would sell stuff to kids. And every year they'd shut me down. And every year I'd get in trouble, but my mom would never get in trouble because I kept on thinking it was just me. And every year they tried making me give back the money. And every year I never did. Because even if I wanted to, my mom would have been like, no, you made the money fair and square. And I did make that money fair and square. It's not my fault my products were fantastic in every way. That's always a funny memory. I remember one time I also tried setting up a rainbow balloon business. I tried setting up a lot of businesses as a kid. Lemonade stands were surprisingly not one of them, though. As a kid, I guess a lemonade stand never really felt like something worth it to me. It felt like something very labor-intensive with not a lot of good returns. I always saw making products is way better. At one point, I considered selling lessons on how to make rainbow balloon bracelets because I do know how to make a lot of different really cool advanced kinds. So I am pretty cool with that, but no one would have actually bought it. But I do like that I had that spirit as a kid, and there's a car alarm going off. Oh, it's gone now. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I'm really glad I tried that as a kid. It was kind of very foreshadowing for what I do in college now. I'm a business student. I love it. I have YouTube now. I'm starting off an Etsy page. It's great. I'm starting up my own businesses. I'm taking what I always tried to do as a kid and actually doing it now. And I think, if anything, these jobs that I wanted to do as a kid really do just represent parts of my life and parts of myself and my identity, even if I did not choose for them for a career. Like princess, everyone likes to be babied. YouTuber, I like being in the spotlight. Same thing with actor and singer. All of those are all very fine artsy, and I've always been a very fine arts kid. Police officer, I have a very strong, bossy personality. Same thing with being a chef. YouTuber, I already went over that one. Vet, I like helping. I think when you take a look at the jobs you want as a kid, they really do just reflect parts of yourself. I appreciate that. And that brings me to number 2, one of the funniest ones. Inventor. I remember as a kid in first grade, they asked us what we wanted to be when we grew up, and we all had to write something down and take a picture with it. And in mine, you can see my little first grade self smiling super duper big with a sign that just says inventor. Because I did not know what I wanted to be, so I picked the first thing that came to mind, and that was inventor. I don't know why I picked that. I could have picked literally anything else in the entire world, but for some odd reason in first grade, I had my heart set on inventor as of 2 seconds ago when I was asked to write something down. And that will forever be something I find so hilarious because I had no other plans outside of that. I was in first grade and I was asked what job I wanted, and I thought of the coolest job I could possibly think of, and I could have gone with Ninja Warrior Princess. I could have gone with a fairy. But no, I was being realistic. I knew if I wanted that money, I needed to be an inventor. Sadly, I did not fulfill that dream. I am, in fact, not an inventor. I guess I am making printable now, wanting printables, but that's not really inventing. Though I do appreciate my first grade self for willing to put herself out there and tell the world that she wanted to be an inventor. Inventor of what? I don't know. Just an inventor, though. And finally, in my number 1 spot, the job I wish I did take, and I almost did decide to go with, teacher. Growing up, that was always a very consistent path for me. It always felt like the path I would take. It's kind of weird that way. I was always told by people growing up they either expected me to become an author or a teacher. So when I went into business, that was very confusing for a while there for my family because they really did not expect it out of me. I'd always been very good with school and good with numbers and good with money. But there was always just this expectation that I would become a teacher. Not because I'm a female or anything like that, but just because I was always so good at it growing up. I loved teaching. I loved kids. I love working with kids. I still do love working with kids. But I ended up not going down that route. That's okay though, because I can still teach in other ways besides going to college and not getting paid a lot and having people tell me I don't deserve to get paid a lot. There are other ways I can teach and be a part of my community without having to get paid for it. Because here's the thing, you do not have to turn your passion into a career. You can, but you don't have to. You can still have passions and a career outside of that. That's what I'm doing. I'm going into business and I like business. It fills everything out. There's a need for it. They pay me well for it. I want to do it and I like it. But it's not like my biggest passion to ever exist. That's teaching. And I can still be a teacher in other ways. And I hope this teaches you anything. It's that you do not have to go to college if you don't want to. And you don't have to go into something just because it's your passion. You don't have to make money off of everything you like. You can just make money off something that you somewhat like. That's what I'm doing. I like YouTube. I'm trying to make money off it. It's not like my biggest passion in the whole world. That's, of course, teaching. But I do like it. I find it's a great, great creative outlet. And potentially making money off it makes me excited. I hope this video allows you guys to also reflect on this and to think about all the weird jobs you wanted as a kid. I know my favorite video out there is people who record their kids saying what they want to be when they grow up, and they always say the weirdest things, like robber. I want to be a robber, mommy. And it's just like, that's great. You go out there and you steal from people. I believe in you. That's always funny. But that is going to be it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know I did. I love you all, and I will see you all next time. Bye!